My parents told me to go for whatever I wanted, and I think that was very strong in my background.
Peggy Yohner was a teenager during World War II. As men went to fight, many women who had never worked before went to work in factories to make machines and aircraft for the war. Peggy says those women impressed her.
World War II was part of what was in me. I saw women go out and do things that men had been doing and totally appreciated it.
In high school, Peggy fell in love with algebra, and in college she majored in math, in spite of some of her teachers.
All the way through college, I was one of 1 or 2 girls in my math classes, and I actually had a calculus teacher who took one look at the 2 of us and turned his nose up, and you could tell he did not want women in math.
After school, Peggy got a job at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA.
I started at NASA in February of 1948. It was not DES at that time. It was just an aeronautical research facility.
Before the war, NACA was using wind tunnels to test and develop wings that would reduce drag and increase lift on planes. During the war, NACA evaluated and improved bombers and fighter planes by increasing the stability, control, and speed of the planes.
We could add, subtract, multiply, and divide. If we needed to do anything with trigonometric functions or logarithms, we had books of tables that we used to get them, and you had to look that stuff up, write it down on the columnar sheet of paper, and then go on to the next column.
Doing these calculations was considered women's work.
I was called a computer.
So in those days, most of the computers were actually women.
There were no computers as we know them today.
It could have been a dead-end job.
But I learned how to use real computers as a result of my job, and that's how I moved upward. The computing division that I was in was primarily involved in evaluating the physical performance of compressors and turbines, the components of jet engines, temperatures, pressures, the speed of the rotor.
We're all still benefiting from the work Peggy did all of those years ago.
You are flying in the airplanes today because of some of the work that we did 20, 30 years ago. And you're safe in those airplanes today because of some of the work we did.
Peggy Yohner refused to accept the idea that math was for boys and tedious work was for women. She did what she wanted to do and proved girls are good at math and that women can do exciting jobs like testing jet engines.